I want to share a few key points about Alan Furlong and Luke Ferrutis, the co-founders of Business Renovators. Luke co-founded his first business at the age of 23. He turned $800 into $12 million company with 65 staff within 5 years. He was awarded the Ernest Young Entrepreneurs Award at the age of 25 and the Microsoft Top 5 Companies Award at the age of 26. In his second business, he created a company valued at $3.5 million from a home office, working just 2 days per week. Yeah, you can clap for that. That's pretty impressive. Alan is one of Australia's leading marketing teachers. He has been a sales and marketing professional since the age of 16. He's helped clients to achieve a 6- and 7-figure sales day, and also with practically zero technical skill, achieve financial independence in only 8 months online. He created Get Online Made Simple that has helped countless business owners, budding entrepreneurs, and internet newbies make their first genuine sales, and also 5- and 6-figure sales online and also offline. He has an MBA from one of the top universities in the UK, has worked to director level in executive search across the globe, and is a terrible, I said terrible, Irish dancer, and I think he's going to show us some of that later. Today, they are going to show you how to take an idea and turn it into $100,000 in business in 12 months or less. How to add $100,000 in value in keeping your existing business in 100 days or less, and how they created 100,000 fans on Facebook in a matter of days. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alan Furlong to the stage.
Hello, lovely people. How are you traveling? You can actually move in a little bit. This is because I've done my exercise for this morning, and if I keep walking up and down like this, I'm going to lose weight, which is very bad when you're a potato-eating Irishman. So basically, what the Business Renovators is all about is we unstick you, for want of a better term, which is a technical business term. And what that means is if your business is going sideways or backwards, we're going to show you very quickly how to turn it around. If you have an idea, so who's got an actual bricks and mortar business right now, an actual business right now? Just raise your hands higher. Great. Wave a little bit. Hurrah. Okay. Who has an idea that they want to take to the world? Raise your hands, just so I can see. Okay. We're going to show you how to do that. All right? We're going to show you how to take an idea from $0 to $100,000. Very, very powerful. Who's just got a passion? Somebody say, yes, Al. Thanks very much. See, I've got a passion. Oh, lovely. All right. Well, there is a big myth about turning passions into profits. And we're going to dispel that myth and show you how you genuinely turn your passion into profits. Sound good? All right. For the wise people amongst you, you will have worked out already I'm not from around these parts. Is that correct? Yes. I'm a foreigner. I've been in Australia over 9 years. This is now my home. So my family are all from Dublin. Has anyone been to Dublin? Does anyone actually remember being there? You clearly weren't trying hard enough. It's a kind of wild place. Now, Dubliners are people who really get to the point very quickly. So please write this down. If you want to be successful in business, you must stop caring about what other people think. The reason why is when you take this step as an entrepreneur, when you go out and build your business, you will have lots of people giving you advice. And most of it will be bull poo. Yeah, because the advice will be based on, their desire to try and help because they love you, or the desire to throw something in because it makes them feel important. Rarely does it come from a place where they've actually trodden the path before you. Would you agree? CSL. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so here's my question for everybody in this room right now. Very simple question, very powerful. Now, this is the opportunity to shout at me as loud as you want. The question is, what do you want? Fire away, anybody. Money. You get 10 points, 5 bags of cheesy Whatsits, and 2 gold stars. Anybody else? Keep throwing them out. Lifestyle. By the way, on camera, my bum probably looks a little bit bigger than what it actually is. I just thought I would throw that out there. Right, next. Keep going. Freedom. Thank you. Anybody else? Travel. That was awesome, but I couldn't hear it. Try it again. Sorry? Make an impact. Okay, right. I'm going to stop it there. Here's the deal. This is incredibly important. Write this down. You are all 50% right. You are all 50% right. If you want to achieve lifestyle and freedom, you need to have a clear financial goal every month. So please write down whatever is your financial goal each and every month. Please write that down. What you have written here is not what you want, but actually why you want it. Yeah, why you want it. Why do I want freedom? Yeah. Why is the lifestyle. So the reason, the what you want is actually cash. It has to be focused on the cash. And then the why is the cash will give me lifestyle. It will give me freedom, whatever that may be for you. Sitting on the beach, etc., etc. Is that clear? Okay, cool. So the reason why we're all here fundamentally for this powerful day, which is a business-oriented day, is for results. Results. Yeah, the education is critically important, as Pat was saying earlier. I love Pat. It's like Hurricane Katrina on little legs. Yeah, he's awesome. But the truth of the matter is that education then leads to a result. So, I'm going to share with you very quickly a couple of our results, just so you understand that you're in safe hands. So, if we can just go to the slides, boys, that would be great. So, this is Luke at the tender age of 24, and this is his first business that he built. By year 5, it had grown to $12 million. Now, lovely people, if you have built a business to $100,000, do you think you'd learn a few things? Say yes, Al. Great, and to get it then to $1 million, you would then have to learn quite a few things. You need to really know your stuff, agreed? And then to take it to 12 million, you really, really need to understand a lot about business. And that's what Luke did. But there were a couple of sort of problems with that business. The first is Luke was holding all of the reins all of the time. Now I'm going to introduce Luke. He's just at the back, just so you know he's a real person. So if you just swivel around very quickly, that's Luke waving there. He is a real human being. He's not a robot. Although he has come from an engineering background, so I can't 100% guarantee that. Yep. So he's a very smart entrepreneur. But he was holding all the reins. And he was working really, really hard. Now, where are my business owners right now? How many are working really, really hard? All of the time. Great. It means there's something structurally wrong in your business. So Luke's second business, he built to $3.5 million. And this is it. It was called Perfect Ink. Now, this is a really important business. Yeah, because all Luke did is he looked at what the problem was for the customer in buying ink cartridges. Now, how many people have bought ink cartridges in the room? How many of you have actually got it wrong? Great. Awesome. I used to get it wrong all of the time because I'm a man. So, I'd have to go in and get C/143, some really long, complicated number, and then the color would be mauve. Now, I thought mauve was some kind of emotional sort of experience, but apparently it's color. So, you'd go in and you'd get it wrong every time. So what Luke did is he made it very simple. If you had a Hewlett-Packard printer, for example, all you needed to do was find a red strawberry. And that red strawberry was your actual printer cartridge. So once you knew it was a red strawberry, you would never get it wrong again. Very simple. He made 4 phone calls a week. 1 to his packaging manufacturing guy in Hong Kong, 3 to his distributors in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. And that's a $3.5 million business, 2 days a week from home. Sound pretty cool? Wow, it's quiet in here. Say, yes, Al. Yes. Top it on it. Okay, so look, That is Luke's background. Now, he sold that business, a portion of it, for $1 million, and the first payment into his bank account was $900,000. Okay, the first tranche payment. So he's pretty happy with that. Now, for me, a little bit about my background, very, very quickly. I'm going to explain why one of my businesses failed. All right? I have not met an entrepreneur yet who hasn't been through some kind of, roller coaster ride. Would you all agree with that? Yeah? Great. So, this is me. Devilishly handsome guy. My wife took this photograph. I didn't even know they existed. She showed me these about 2 or 3 months back. This is me ironing my last 5 work shirts ever. Now, how many people in the room are actually working right now? Okay, great. That's your final day. Hopefully, you look more handsome than that on your final day. But that was the last 5 work shirts that I ever ironed. Now, what I did is I left work and I set up a business buying, renovating, and selling property. Does anybody notice anything about the date? Something happened in 2008 that was really, really uncomfortable. It wasn't a pleasant experience at all. Does anybody remember what that was? The GFC. I was actually talking about the Barry Manilow tour, but we'll go with GFC just for now. Is that all right? Okay, the GFC. And so we ended up with a lot of property that we couldn't shift. We had stuff that was half renovated, and as we all know, you have to get the renovation finished to get the value. It was a very stressful time. That photograph was taken in April 2009, and it was taken 2 hours after I was moved out of hospital. Okay? What happened for me is that we got to a point where we nearly ran out of cash completely. Now, my business owners and budding entrepreneurs, how many people have been through that process? It's a really uncomfortable, terrifying process. And if it wasn't for the courage of my wife to actually ring her father to borrow some money, we would have lost everything. Now, gentlemen, as a man, the one with all the ideas, to have to listen to your wife asking her dad to borrow money makes you feel like a 24-karat gold asshole. I've failed on many levels in my life, but that certainly was one of the lowest periods. Shortly after that loan came through, surprise, surprise, we sold some land. The pressure was released a bit, and we headed off to a place called Mudgee. And in Mudgee, we had a little holiday. And on the way to Mudgee, I started having chest pains. As we got closer to Mudgee, the chest pains got worse. The next thing I know, Antonia is now driving the car because she's dragged me into the passenger seat. Antonia's my wife. She's amazing. And we're bouncing through the center of Mudgee. We get to the hospital. They put me on a trolley. They wheel me in. They put tubes, gentlemen, where tubes should not go. Yeah? And then they left me alone for half an hour, which I thought was rude because I was having a heart attack. And then eventually the doctor came up and she said, Alan, it's not a heart attack. You're physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually exhausted. And that photograph was taken 2 hours after that conversation. And again, Antonia found it. That was the turning point in my life. So how many people in this room have been through a bit of adversity in their lives? Awesome. Do you learn a lot from adversity? Do you learn a lot about yourself? Have you any idea how magnificent all of you are? Nobody's nodded their head. Isn't that extraordinary? You are all magnificent and capable of anything you put your mind to. For me, at the time, I had been playing around with the online marketing stuff, and back then it was all about, you just plug this machine in and cash falls out. And I was waiting for the day when my wife, walks past the office and says, Alan, will you please just grab those $100 notes that are scattered all over the floor and put them in a neat pile with the rest of them in the garage? It didn't happen. But we all believed because it was the internet, maybe it's special. Maybe boats fall out and Ferraris and stuff like that. It didn't happen. So what I did is I went back to what I was taught when I was 16 years old. Care about your customer. Yeah, care about your customer. Build bonding and trust and rapport. And the first thing that I found is, online that did that went profitable in 24 hours. I then went to see Zach, my mechanic. I had to pick my car up. This is the next day. There's a big golden lesson in this. Zach had just serviced my car, and I said to him, how much is it? He said, $547, something like that. It was over $500. And I said to him, Zach, have you got a website? And he said, yes. I said, change that, and you'll make more money. I said, do you have a newsletter of some sort or an email that you send out? He said, yes. I said, do this, and this, you'll make more money. He said, Al, that's awesome. You can have your service for free. So you know that thing about take a passion, turn it into profits. The thing about building a successful business, if everything that I say, this one piece will make you the most amount of money. Write this down. Find a problem for your customer and solve it. I'm going to explain exactly what I mean in detail in a second. If you want to be successful in business, if you want to make a lot of money, you have to find a problem that the customer cares about and you solve it for them. And that's how you make money. So a year on, from April 2009, I helped one client, and he had a 7-figure day. I got 10% of that, and that was a $110,000 deposit in my bank account. All cool? Yeah? Okay. So here's the deal. Luke's gift is he can look at any business or business idea and very quickly tell you why it's not going to work and how to fix it. My gift is I can look at any marketing, both online and offline, and just zero in on where the problem is and then how to fix it in 5 minutes or less. Sound cool? Together, we've got just under 46 years experience, and we came up with 7 critical steps, very profound steps for building a successful business. And we're going to go through them today. Is that all cool? So here's the deal. I am not in a sort of, a speaker per se in the sense of like, fancy moves and Irish dancing. Yeah? Thanks very much. It's early in the day for Irish dancing. I might get everybody to do it later. We'll see. Our passion is building businesses. That's what we really do. And every now and then, Jamie's awesome, and he said, come and talk to entrepreneurs and help them out, which is great, so that's what we do. So I want you to draw this diagram. The diagram itself will change your life. I'll make this easier, so I'll use this flip chart so everyone can see. Okay. If the flip chart collapses, we'll all drink coffee. Right. This, for particularly budding entrepreneurs, and for people who've already got a business, will be a massive eye-opener. It's called a diffusion of innovation curve. I want you to draw this. It will literally change your life. And it will explain how the world is changing right now and how you can benefit from it. And I'm going to run through it so that you've got plenty of time to scribble it down. Okay. Everybody see that okay on the screen? Top banana. Okay. N stands for your niche. Your niche. Your niche. How are we all doing? Just nod. All good? EA stands for early adopters. My daughter woke me up early. Can someone please adopt her? Yeah? Great. EM stands for early majority. You'll have to forgive me, slightly skewed handwriting there. LM stands for late majority. And finally, L stands for late comers. It's called the diffusion of innovation curve. So I'll go through that again. N for niche, EA for early adopters, EM for early majority, LM for late majority, and L for latecomers. Okay. When the iPod first came out, nobody got it. At the time, we were all wearing headbands, leg warmers, and had Sony Walkmans. Who remembers those glorious days? Who has photographs from those days? Burn them. Right? Big hair. Sony Walkman, we didn't get it. The only people who got the iPod were the techies. The techies. And they were the red hot niche. And they got it. And so the techies got the fact that you could get 1,000 songs onto one little machine, and suddenly started walking around these white earbuds in their ears. Now, 10 years ago, they didn't exist. Did you remember when you started seeing those things and you were like, where the heck did they come from? What are they? You know, people look like they're plugged into the mainframe. Yeah? What happened is that the early adopters, cool people in San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, saw these techies with these things and said, what are they? It's an iPod. What's that? Wow, that's cool. And so the idea spread, and the product spread to the early adopters. Then the early majority, the slightly cool people who probably have kids at school, they started to see the early adopters with these earphones, and the rest is history. And then went to the late majority, and then eventually the late comers. Now, who are the late comers? They're people who right now are still using typewriters. They go to Antarctica on the weekend and club baby seals. All right? So these guys are way behind the curve. The point is this. This is the mass market. The mass market. And nearly every business that Luke and I see that we turn around, every new entrepreneur that we see who has a great idea, it sounds something like this. Alan, I've got a great idea for bowler hats with matching socks, and I'm going to sell it to everyone. The mass market. It is a recipe for disaster. Because right now, all of your customers or potential customers get 3,000 marketing messages a day, and they've got brilliant at screening stuff out. They're not interested in your stuff. Your competitors will outspend you on marketing to keep you off the shelves, to keep you out of the market. So it's expensive to market there, and they will use their established might to try and kill you and your business. Does that make sense? The world has changed. 50 years ago, you could advertise the mass market, they would come running. They don't anymore. How many people flick through the adverts on TV? Oh, awesome. How many people have got digital TV and record programs and then just skip through the adverts? The world has changed. That's why MasterChef, by the way, the adverts are in the show. They're in the show. First $100 million TV program in Australian history. So the only people, guys, who are going to be interested in your message is your red hot niche. So step number 1 of the 7-step process is you must target your red hot niche. Does that make sense? You must target your red hot niche. Because they're the only ones who care. Now, we'll just have the PowerPoints up, boys. Let me just explain. This is a case study of Anita. And Anita's an awesome person. She's an entrepreneur. And she had a business for about 2 years before she came along and worked with us. And Anita was very typical of a lot of business owners that we deal with, or budding entrepreneurs. How many people here have more than one idea that they want to take to the market? Yeah? Okay. Guys, focus on one. Focus on one. What Anita had is her passion was around, she's great at making dresses and all that kind of stuff. She had brides dresses, bridesmaids dresses, couture dresses, this kind of dress, that kind of dress, the other, all right? 5 or 6 different kind of dresses. And so she was spinning her wheels, working really hard and not making any money. And we said, who is your niche and what do they want? And she said, well, I seem to get requests for bridesmaids dresses over and over again. I said, just give them that. Solve that problem. So she created Bridesmaids Dressing Room. And as you can see, within 2 weeks of just focusing on a niche, she was getting more customers and more sales, and within 2 months was generating more in 1 week than her monthly 6-figure corporate salary. And she's tripled her made-to-measure fees, and her customers still say yes. Why? Because they know what she's good at. Now, can she add other branches to this particular oak tree? Absolutely. But if you don't, guys, focus on one thing first, you will come undone. Does that make sense? It's really important. Cool. All right, so that's step number 1. Step number 2 of the 7-step process is now that the niche understand that you can meet their need and solve their problem, you need to communicate to them. So step number 2 is you need killer sales materials. Killer sales materials. Okay? Because once you get your killer sales materials out there, your niche can actually understand how you meet their problem and how you solve it for them. So I'm going to give you a fundamental formula of killer selling, okay? So killer sales materials means your website, your Facebook fan page, your brochure, your emails, any online or offline marketing. And there is a fundamental principle in most awesome killer sales materials. Let me just share that with you. Because we're here to learn, agreed? And then take action. Has anyone heard of the AIDA formula? Raise your hands if you have. 1, 2, a handful, good on you. Right, then you know a few things about marketing. All right, if you want your adverts to work, if you want your online strategies to work, if you want your website to work, it needs to have these principles. A stands for attention. Okay? I stands for interest. D stands for desire. A stands for action. Just take a couple of seconds to write that down. If all you do tomorrow morning is start applying this to whatever you do from a marketing perspective, it will increase your sales. I was flying yesterday on a Virgin flight, looked through all the advertising in the in-flight magazine with Luke, and we just shook our heads. Thousands of wasted dollars. So what does attention, interest, desire, and action actually sound like? So the business renovators, give you an example, one of our headlines, how to create a business to set yourself up for life. I've got your attention. There is a 7-step process that will show you how to make more sales, grab more customers, and make more money. It's very powerful. Now you're interested. When you harness this 7-step process, you will find money will flow into your business or new business idea easier. Is anyone starting to get sort of, ooh, this is sounding interesting? That's an emotional response, that's desire. And then the last bit is, click here now to find out more. Grab this offer now, go here. Get your proactive free pack for $29.95, click the orange button now. That is a call to action. And what you're doing is you're moving people from a place where they don't know you to a place where they care and a place where they take action. Does that make sense? So the attention, interest, desire, action. We had a guy, case study number 2, Grant Ackerman. He's a financial advisor. Is anyone in the financial advising game at the minute? Great, okay. So it's an environment, would you agree with me, sir, where the trust level has dropped considerably since 2008. So Grant was having that same problem. And I said to Grant, look, his marketing was like this. You may recognize it, my friend. And it went something like this. You know, my name's Grant Ackerman, and I've got 500 clients and $300 million assets under management. My dog's danglies are amazing, and I'm just great at everything. Yeah? Okay, I hope you don't do that. You don't, do you? Good man. Okay. But it's typical in the finance arena. You know, all of this sort of that stuff and posing with city skylines. City skylines? I should never drink whiskey at this hour of the morning. Okay, so this is what we did with Grant. I said, Grant, tell a story about a couple who you've helped in your target market, right? I said, just tell that story and use the AIDA principle. And that's all he did. So he found there's a couple that he helped. He's based in Canada. And he helped a couple go from, they were smashed during 2008, and he helped them get back to parity. Does that make sense? Back to where they were, which is a great story. So he told that story. And if you could go to the PowerPoints again, my friends, he told that story, and this was the result.
Hi, I'm Grant Ackerman with TD Waterhouse Private Investment Advice in Canada. I'd like to tell you a little bit about my friend Alan Furlong and how he's helped my business. Since Alan and I began working together in March of 2011, he's assisted me in closing 3 key accounts, which have resulted in $25,000 gross commission this month alone. Alan's really revolutionized my business. He's re-engineered the way that I approach prospects and redefined how I interact with clients. What's most impressive about Alan is his understanding of consumer behavior and how effortlessly I could explain my business needs to him. Alan's also one of the few people I know who can deliver exceptional results on command, which is absolutely invaluable quality when time is of the essence. Since we began working together, Alan and I have forged a very strong friendship, and I can say in good conscience that there are few individuals who are more thoughtful or caring than Alan. I hold Alan in the absolute highest regard, and I refer to him regularly with my business contacts and colleagues.
The reason Grant was able to do so well is because he talked about his customer to his customer so that they could understand how Grant solved their problem. They could empathize with the customer story. Does that make sense? So I talked to Grant about 3 weeks ago. He has written, just based off this, he has written $10 million worth of business in the last 2 months alone. And he's attracting the kind of customers that he really, really loves. So you need to write you need to understand the skills of killer sales materials, and the AIDA principle is the cornerstone of that. Does that make sense? So now that we're communicating with our guys and communicating with the niche, they're going to check you out. And the world has changed. In the old days, to check you out, they would have gone down the high street and popped their head into your business. Now, how many people have got smartphones in the audience right now? Hold your hands up. Pretty much everyone. Here's the deal. When I was talking about Google local search, so to find a local business via Google, it used to be 1 billion searches a month. It's now 6 billion searches a month, looking for your business or new business idea. So if you want your business to really take off, step number 3, you must have a converting website. Critical word, converting website. Yeah, a converting website. Not just a website. Looking at, this is the one area that we see business owners get wrong every single time. A converting website. So, 1, 2, 3. The top 3 things you must have on your website are as follows. Number 1, you must have a compelling headline. Right? Just write down compelling headline. I will come back and explain that on your website. Number 2, a powerful image or a powerful video. A powerful image or a powerful video. And number 3, a single call to action. Number 3, a single call to action. Are we all good? All right, so here's the deal. The headline has a benefit in there, a benefit to the customer. All righty, to the customer. So they understand immediately why they should do business with you. That is the key to grabbing their attention. Then they see your video or they just see your image. The image reinforces whatever benefit you're selling. Yeah, we will come and do your plumbing job, and if we're not on time, your job's for free. Okay? And then you say, single call to action. Call this number now. Click this button now. Grab this free offer now. And that, honestly, will transform all of your conversions on your website. And instead, what we see is business owners with bells and whistles and buttons everywhere, and their website is a complete mess. All right? So, Katie Prendergast, she was working. Where are my working friends right now? Okay? Who wants to get out of work? Alrighty, then you'll love this. So Katie was in that situation. She set up a website helping people with swallowing disorders. She was solving a problem. And this came because her grandmother had trouble swallowing. I didn't even know this existed, okay? Anyway, long story short, she set up a website and it didn't work. So all we did is I said, Katie, tell me exactly what they want. And she did a little bit of research, and what they wanted was products, thickened drinks, soups, etc., right? And that's a niche. Would you agree? Yeah? Okay, so thickened drinks, soups, etc., they want the products. And then I said, okay, let's just put that on the homepage with an offer. Headline, an image, an offer, and a single call to action. That's all we started with. So this is Katie. I'm just going to show a quick video of Katie so you know who she is and what she looks like.
Hi, my name is Katie Prendergast. I began working with Alan about 9 months ago, shortly after having an e-commerce site built for me. I came from a background in health, so I'd not had any experience running a business, let alone internet sales and marketing and design or anything like that. So I really had no idea how to attract customers to my website. Since working with Alan, he's given me so many different strategies. I haven't even implemented half of them, and already I'm having some really amazing results. So as an example, I use Google AdWords to attract some customers, and for 4 months I wasn't using all of Alan's strategies for that campaign, and so my click-through rate was 2.13% as an average for those 4 months. The following 4 months after I implemented his strategies, my click-through rate increased to 6.06%. So that was almost tripled the amount of people clicking through to my website. So, and in terms of sales, as an example, 2 weeks ago I had 7 sales totaling $922. Last week I had 11 sales totaling $1,862. And this week, well, it's Tuesday morning and already I've had sales totaling $766. So things are going really well, and I haven't even been in business for 12 months yet. So I think what I've learned is you don't really need experience or expertise in the area in order to be successful. You just need to find a teacher who will help you to avoid faffing about and wasting time doing things that aren't going to make you money online.
We all do. We all procrastinate. And honestly, that bit that I said right at the start, focus on the cash, what do you want, will keep you focused on the things you need to do. And that's all we did with Katie. My God, I've put on weight. Look at me on that screen. Right. The thing is with Katie, that all she did was those pieces. Now, the update with Katie, if I just show this screen again, thanks, gentlemen. The update with Katie is this is her shopping cart. She's been very kind, allowed us to do this. The back end. So she went from $0 to $100,000 in sales in 12 months, just based on that. Now, as a consequence of that, so the latest update, again, talking to Katie just 2 weeks ago, is that one of the biggest brands in the world approached her to do a deal. We helped her with that deal, okay, because it's a bit scary. Now, the kind of brand we're talking about is up there with Coca-Cola, all right? We're not talking about a sort of a local Australian brand. It's a global brand. So we helped her with that deal, and she won the deal. They have the product. She has now the database, all righty? It's very simple but very powerful. And you can see, in reality, you know, your sales go up and down, but boom, 100,000 from scratch and growing. She's doing a phenomenal job. So lovely people, now that your niche market know who you are, they love the benefit, and they've checked you out online and they really like you, then we need to take it even further. We want that niche market to now start talking about our business to their friends, right? The early adopters. So what's the most powerful tool right now to get these guys talking to their friends? Step number 4 is Facebook. So this is not business skills from 20 years ago. This is what works now today. Right? So step number 4 is you need to master Facebook if you're in business. So I'm going to show you how we build 100,000 fans. Does that sound cool? Awesome. Okay, now, how many people are on Facebook? Raise your hands. Wow, look around, guys. Keep your hands raised. That's about 70%. How many people are not on Facebook right now? How many people couldn't give two fiddlers farts about Facebook? Thank you for your honesty. Here's the truth. It doesn't matter what I think about Facebook per se, and really, it shouldn't matter what you think about Facebook. What matters is what your customers think. And right now, they're jumping on Facebook in their droves. Talking about Facebook for over 2 years. When I started, it was 650 million fans on Facebook. It's now 850 million plus and growing. Okay? So you can't ignore Facebook. So this, you're just going to have to watch the screen. And I'm going to show you the exact process that we used to build our Facebook fan pages. Now, I'm going to start by showing you a page that we built. This is now over 200,000 fans. It's built in a matter of days. And I'm going to give you a piece of gold that I really do when I talk to entrepreneurs. This was kind of a bet. I met a business owner who owned a sporting shop who said, Facebook's no good for me. I said, okay. So I found a sport I know nothing about, which is cricket. Although the Irish have a cricket team. I didn't know that. We beat Pakistan as well. I didn't know that. No wonder Ireland was drunk for about 6 months, and no wonder they had their own global financial crisis. They were all drinking. Anyway, so I know nothing about cricket. And then I found this guy, Sachin Tendulkar, who's an Indian cricketer, and he's actually an extraordinary guy. So we built this page, and it literally exploded overnight. So here's the massive gold tip for every single one of you. If you want to get lots of fans onto your fan page, and I'll explain this all in a minute, find something that's in the media spotlight and leverage it. Okay? Find something in the media spotlight and leverage it. I'll give you an example. When Oprah Winfrey was closing down her TV program, are there any business coaches or business consultants in the room? Show your hands. Brilliant. Okay, this is what I would have done. This would double your business. I would have said, Oprah Winfrey may be leaving, but building a great business based on contribution and a focus on cash still exists. Click here now to find out more. And I promise you, it would double the number of people clicking on your advert. And honestly, that one piece I've just given you is that English? Probably. That one piece I've just given you would make an extraordinary difference to your bottom line. Alrighty? So that's Facebook. Now, so we built this in a matter of days, and this is our own actual page. It's got 28,000 fans at the minute and growing. By all means, go and say hello to us on that fan page. Yeah, and check us out. Alrighty? So, how do you build these pages so quickly? We're going to show you one of the core strategies that we used. Now, before I get into it, very, very quickly, we have 28,000 fans. For those who don't know a lot about Facebook, why should I be interested in 28,000 fans? Because for every one fan on Facebook, they have 130 friends. So for us, that 28,000 fans in total have 13,283,290 friends. That's over 13 million potential eyeballs. So if everybody loved our stuff all at the same time, we tap into 13 million people. And that's why Facebook is so important. That's how you spread your message from the niche to your early adopters. That's how you can take an idea in less than 12 months from $0 to $100,000. This is how you can literally change your business and your business growth overnight. Everybody getting vaguely excited now. Yeah? Cool. All right. So I'm going to show you exactly what we do. So step number 1 is you need to do a targeted advert. Targeted to who? He runs gazelle-like to your niche. Yeah, you do a targeted advert to your niche. And the purpose of that advert is simply to bring people to what Luke and I call a conversion page. Now, Luke and I spent 8.5 months working this out, okay? So we are just saving you 8.5 months of time, expense, and pain. 2 things happen on a conversion page. Number 1, Bill or Mary or Bob like your page. You click like. Now, when Bill or Mary and Bob like your page, Bill and Mary and Bob's friends can see that Bill and Mary and Bob liked the Business Renovators page. So some of Bill and Mary and Bob's friends will then come and visit your page. And they too could like your page and so on and so forth. I have never put so many Bill, Marys, and Bobs into so many sentences in such a short space of time. So, you get the point. They like your page. It attracts net new people. But the most important thing, guys, is that you want them to give you your name, their name, and email address. So you can see at the bottom of the page, there is an email capture box. So from the little advert, we take them to a conversion page. They like our page then. They see a great offer, and they give us their name and email address. As a consequence of that, they then are added to our database. So lovely people, this is critically important. Your database is the gold. Yeah, having lots of fans is great. But putting them onto your database is critically important because that's where you can build bonding, rapport, and trust. Excuse me. Yeah? bonding and rapport and trust. This is how you can get to know them. So, another piece of gold from Al. When they're on your database, you're sending them little emails. Don't sell them really hard. 3 parts great information to 1 part sales offer. You probably want to write that down. I see people get this wrong over and over again. 3 parts great information to 1 part sales offer. All cool? Great. Alrighty, and then when you're on the database, when it comes to you selling your business or selling your database, whatever it is you want to do, the bean counters won't look at your fan page. They'll say, how many customers do you have? How often do they spend with you? How much do they spend with you? And so on and so forth, because that helps them create a value for your business. Are you with me? Brilliant. Okay, so that's the process. It's really simple. A targeted little advert, yeah. Piggyback off something that's in the media spotlight. It'll save you hours and hours of fun and games. Conversion page, I like you. Here's my email address. Now you're on my database. Here's some great info. Oh, by the way, 50 cents off a cup of coffee. Yeah? Half price shoes. Come in and see us and we'll love you forever. Whatever your particular offer is. So, for us, this is how we build our database pretty much on autopilot. And this is one of our PayPal accounts. And it's $588 a week. Now, I want to be really clear about this. Well, you see there, $97 coming in every single day. That is just cream on the top. Yeah, it's just cream on the top. The key, the gold, is getting the people on your database in the first place. Does that make sense? No matter what you do. Okay? All good? This is how you build 100,000 fans really quickly. It doesn't have to be complicated. Very simple and straightforward process. Now, if you think you are incapable of getting this working for you, I want to show you another case study. This is Cheryl. She's a working mum, right? So we deal with all the cross-section of budding entrepreneurs and established business owners, and Cheryl's awesome. And all she did is that very 3-step process. Yeah, the very one I've just shown you. So this is Cheryl, and this is what happened for her, just implementing that process.
What was your fan page doing before you found us?
Nothing. I didn't have a welcome page. I didn't have an online store or a page store. I didn't have anything. I didn't have a testimonial tab, nothing like that, and I had 30 fans.
And what's happened since you implemented a few of our strategies in terms of the number of fans, and how long has that process taken?
It's been 2 months now. My fan base on the page is 736, and that's in 2 months.
And then from that fan base, how many new customers did you get?
I've had a lot of sample orders, so probably about 200 to 300 sample orders from that page.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so in terms of sales, those sample orders did they have to pay for those sample orders?
Yeah, it's $5.95 for 7 sachets of samples. It's a week's worth.
So that's 200 to 300 kind of new customers in your pipeline.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And then do you have an upsell process so that you can make them multiple offers throughout the year?
Yeah, on the website, you can actually get a 30 sachet pack, a 60 sachet pack, and then if you buy 2 boxes, you get it a bit cheaper. If you buy 4 boxes, you get it even cheaper. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. So 200 to 300 at $5 a pop's around about $1,500.
So, here's a key message about Cheryl. She was making little sales at the front end, which is great, but the key is she's building our database and building rapport so she can make additional sales in the back end. And you can pretty much put all of that process on autopilot. Okay? Now, that's step number 4. Here's the thing. You're now starting to get very busy. If you're a business owner, at this point, you're getting a lot of sales coming to the door. If you're a new entrepreneur, all of a sudden you've gone from getting going to all this pipeline of sales. and this is the one thing that really will get in the way. You spend all of this effort getting all of these guys in your pipeline, all come flying into your business, and you're there all by yourself trying to do everything. The very thing that happened to Luke, even with a $12 million business, burned himself out. So, step number 5, you must restructure, right? Restructure for unlimited growth. Restructure for unlimited growth. If you are still busting your butt in your business, there is something structurally wrong. Now, restructure for unlimited growth. Let me just give you a very quick example. Would you agree a plumber's a pretty sort of average business, yes? It's a business we'd all know and love and recognize. Say yes, Al. Topping on it. Okay, so Steve Pickett is a plumber, and he was making $14,000 in sales per month. Not bad, would you agree? Yep. Alrighty. The problem is he was putting all of it into his bank account. So his business wasn't actually showing any value. So what we did is we split that into 7,000 salary and 7,000 profit. So it's still going into Steve's account, but now he's showing 7,000 profit. This is very simple, but very, very powerful. So when you look at that profit and you times it by 12, it gives you an annual profit of $84,000. Using my really terrible maths. Are there any accountants in the room? Lovely accountants. It's really funny, every time I ask that question, the actual accountants in the room are really reluctant to put their hands up. I don't know why. You're all lovely people as far as I'm concerned. Alrighty. Generally, in accountancy, they use what they call a 3 times multiplier principle to get a valuation of a business. So you multiply 84,000 by 3, and you get a value of your business of $252,000. That's a value, that Steve could sell. This is how you create value in your business, how you create $100,000 in 100 days or less. Now, here's the other thing about Steve. We also restructured his business in a pragmatic way, because he'd be getting really busy. Yeah, he was getting really busy, and his wife didn't see him. So we added 2 more staff. Now, that's a pretty normal strategy. And most of the business owners in this room would go, but Al, that's adding cost. That's adding more cost. Not the way we do it. Not the way we do it. I'm going to explain that in a second. So we added 2 more staff, and those 2 staff make Steve $500 per week each passive income. $500 each per week passive income. So now Steve is adding an extra $1,000 per week. Yeah, on top of creating a business that now has true value, so on and so forth. But there's one other thing that we did. Now I'm going to show you Steve, because he's a really top guy. And I'm going to explain the next point. It's very, very powerful. This next point, for everyone, next week, could transform your lives.
Before I started working with Luke, I was a sole trader with a business that had 0 value. After just 6 months, Luke reconstructed my business so that I had a value of over $250,000. This is wealth that I never knew existed. I also increased my profits by $68,000 in 1 year by using one simple strategy Luke showed me. If you really want to see changes in your business and you get the opportunity, work with Luke.
Okay, so how did he create $68,000 in extra profits even when he added 2 staff? How can you do that? Yeah, because most business owners, when you talk about adding staff, freak out big style. Step number 6 is joint ventures. Step number 6 is joint ventures. This strategy will literally blow your underwear off. We'll have to send people around after you leave on your lunch break and just pick up shreds of garments. Now, what we did with Steve is we said, when you go into a home, do you notice other things that aren't right with the house when you do the plumbing? He said, yeah. I mean, the electrics are out, pool needs cleaned, I find cockroaches, blah, blah, blah. I said, great. find a pool cleaner, find an electrician, find a carpet cleaner, find a pest inspector, and do a joint venture with them. So that every time you see that, you say to the owner of the house, hey, I notice your plug's pretty bad. I can get an electrician to come and fix it for you. Would you like a referral? Yes, I would. So he rings his friend, the electrician. The electrician comes, fixes the problem, and Steve takes a commission. So Steve now has a whole bunch of guys who are paying him money every single week. Not only that, they're referring work back to Steve. So every time Billy the electrician goes out and he sees a plumbing job, he refers Steve. And his business has exploded. And I don't care what your idea is. I don't care what your business is. Literally, you can double your profits in a matter of days or even weeks, just using the power of joint ventures. We've done it over and over again. There's a guy called Ben. He's a pilot for Virgin. I taught him this in one conversation in 1 hour, and he took that idea, had a meeting the next day, and that one meeting and that one joint venture deal increased his revenue overnight by 15%. And we've just helped him do another deal with one of the biggest media companies in Australia. It works. It's powerful. So step number 6 is joint ventures. Now step number 7. So step number 6 is joint ventures. This allows you to cope with the growth. They can help you deliver your product or service. It helps you cope with the growth of your business. Step number 7 is put your business on autopilot. Put your business on autopilot. Incredibly important. We see people flogging themselves to death all of the time. And the reason why is they haven't set up the systems, they haven't set up the structures. So if you want to know how Luke was doing $3.5 million business 2 days a week from home, it was joint ventures and setting up agreements and structures and so on and so forth, so his business ran on autopilot. How many people have come from a working class background? My dad worked in a factory all of his life, 51 years, yeah? The problem with that is that you are ingrained to understand that hard work makes money. That's horse poo. If after your year 2 and you start a business, all of my corporate and working escapees, if after year 2 you're still busting your chops 14 hours a day, it's because you've structured your business incorrectly. You should be able to put your business on autopilot. That means setting up structures, as I said earlier, setting up technology, setting up agreements, setting up leverage opportunities so you're not doing all of the work. What's the most precious asset you all have? Time. So what the hell are you doing working 14 hours a day? I see this all the time. I'm working 14 hours a day to provide for my family. Luke will tell you about a guy who talks about they have a family day, because he's working 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. So they have a family day. Looks like I don't get that stuff. He used a stronger word than stuff, but I'll not use it. It's a family occasion. And I don't either. Like I see my daughter every single day. Luke sees both his son and his daughter every single day. Your life is a precious thing. And business is incredible and it's awesome. But if you're busting your butt all the time, then it's a dumb business. Are you with me? So this is another chap I'm going to show you, another case study. And all we did is a typical business coach, busy, he's out there delivering all the time. So we said, why don't you just put a whole bunch of stuff online? And then this is what happened.
Luke created a membership site for my business that started churning out a 4-figure passive income in 6 weeks. Now, it cost less than $250 to set that up, and it cost about $50 a month to run it. Luke's ability to find more money in any business is unique, and it's one of the best that I've come across in 24 years in my business. If you're serious about making more money in your business, and you get the opportunity, you should talk to Luke.
Really simple. You should have systems. Yeah, you should have strategies, etc., that take the workload off your back. Now, when you put all of those 7 steps together, you get something like this. Now, this is a lady called Lisa Bree. And Lisa has come from a sort of a midwifery background. She's not a business person. And she just followed the 7 steps. We coached her and we helped her, and what you see is a website. She has no technical experience whatsoever. She has 4 or 5 different ideas to escape work in life, as it were, and we said just focus on one that your customers, your niche really want. Lisa has a gift. She can put babies to sleep. Now, obviously, she's not walking around with a big syringe, because that's not a business that's sustainable, obviously. She's a baby whisperer, for want of a better word. Now, here's the thing. So Lisa just followed the 7 steps, and she sent us this email on the 10th of August. I've had to change a little bit. Oh my God, someone purchased my stuff online. This stuff really works, and I'm not even really happy with my website yet. My goal for August was to make $100 online. I've made $500. Now, how many people have tried to do something online, and on day 1, in week 1, they made money? Not a single person in the room. Not a single person in the room. And somebody with no technical experience, who comes from a midwifery background, is able to do $500 on her first week. And if she just sustains that, she's going to add another $24,000 to her life. Would that make a difference to your life? Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's really, really important. So that's the 7 steps. Now, finally, please write this down. You must have an ultimate outcome. You must have an ultimate outcome. So this wonderful guy created a $100,000 business in a matter of weeks, okay? It's called Roster Portal. A guy called Tony Bloom. And he's very clear about what he wants from life. And he just helps with staff rostering and all that kind of stuff. We helped him. And this is what Tony said: for the first time in 3 years, my business now produces enough passive income to pay all of his bills. If he doesn't add any more customers, his business will still do $100,000. Yeah, his customers coming in every day. And this is applicable offline and online. Applicable offline and online. So here's your ultimate outcome. There are only 2. Please write them down. Number 1, you sell the business for a fortune, and you go and sit on the beach. Number 2, you keep the business. You put in a decent team, and you take passive income from that business constantly. Does that make sense? Forevermore. That's fundamentally it. 2 ultimate outcomes. Now, Luke and I are helping. We've got 2 deals on the go at the minute where we're helping business owners get to the point of selling their business, right? Structuring so they're ready for sale. So let me ask you a question. If we helped you sell a business for $1 million, would you be okay giving us 100,000? Only a couple of people said yes. Okay, you're all tight. You must be Scottish. Okay, if we helped you sell the business for $5 million, would you be okay giving us $500,000? Say yes, Al. Yeah, great. Okay. So we have a vested interest in our people's success. And when we coach and work with them, we are able very quickly, usually about once every half year, to spot the guys who are serious. You know what Pat was saying earlier about what's going on inside the person's head? That's critically important for us understanding who's serious about building a business and taking it to sale. Yeah, or bringing in external investors and growing it exponentially. Make sense? So that's it. That's a 7-step process. You have to master this. And can you see with that process, that 7-step process is a series of steps, and it would be easy to get it wrong. Would you agree? Just say yes, Al. And would you agree also that if you pull one of those steps out and miss them, you would also get it wrong? Yes? Great. And more importantly, would you agree that you need to follow somebody who's walked the path before you? Yeah? Please write this down. It's gold. Success is a team sport. Success is a team sport. Yeah? Now, I have shown you, obviously, what you need to do. But how many people are wondering, but how do you do it? How do you put that fan page and fan creation process together? How do you put your website together? Would you like to know how you do that? Just raise your hands and say, hallelujah. Right on. Okay, here's how. You actually work with Luke and I directly until December. That's how. And the reason we're different from a lot of other guys is we know the information and the training products are awesome. But how many of you have got home and got stuck? Raise your hands. How many have got to a place where you got a little bit frustrated and you thought, I just need a little bit of help? Yeah, just raise your hands just so I can see it. Alrighty, that's why we do what we do. We coach you every single week so you don't get stuck, but more importantly, you keep taking action. And that's how you get the results. So the 7 weeks is very, very powerful. And this is the only course we're doing this year. It's the last one. Alrighty? And this is how it works. We give you a module of training. It's online. You follow that module of training. You start putting it into the real world. And then each and every week we get together on a live workshop and you tell us on a webinar, this is where I'm stuck. This is what I need to handle. What do you think about this? How can I do this better? This is getting in the way. How can I fix it to make more money faster? Does this sound pretty cool? Awesome. Here's the deal. We cannot take every single person in this room. Everybody go, ah. It just sound like you really mean it. Go, ah. Thanks. All right. Take 28 people. That's it. And that's a small group that we can work with, and we know we can handle a small group like that. Is that cool? So what's in this incredibly powerful course? Let's just go through that very quickly. So we start on the 11th of October. Week 1 is all about finding your lucrative niche, creating your X factor so that you correctly position your business or idea into an established market from day 1, where they already have customers who are going to pay you money from day 1. The big mistake everyone makes is, I have an idea, hopefully they will buy. That is going to fail your business. What you need to do is, this is where the money's at. That's where I'm going. So we have an outcome for every single week you work with us. For the first time ever, you'll get the head start on the competition, and you will start making cash fast. This is Baden, in a very typical business owner. All we worked on, who is your niche, who's going to pay you the most amount of money, and they paid him. His sales increased from $10,000 to $30,000 in 1 month, and that month is January, when his business is supposed to be quiet. Week number 2, copywriting secrets, learn to write killer adverts, sales letters, the very things that we talked about. Now, who would like to make more money next week? Raise your hands. Should be everyone in this room, by the way. This is how you do it. It's the most important skill we have. So the outcome for this is where 98% of our cash comes from, Luke and I, and it's the same for you. It's all we did with Andre Moritz. We just helped him with his copywriting on his website and his Facebook page, and overall his turnover increased more than 20% each month, every single month for 6 months. Alrighty? Is there any photographers in the room, apart from the ones taking my photograph at the minute? Yeah? Great. All we did with Andrea, would you like to not have to worry about money coming in? Would that be cool, my photographer friends? Because all we did with Andrea is worked on a brochure, and with our input, her one-day photo workshop sold out 2 months in advance. That's all we did. Week number 3, how to turn your website into an ATM. Who would like to make more money online? Just show your hands. That's the most powerful element of the training, right there. 2 years of my life in that one piece. And we'll show you all 8 website revenue generators. I'll give you the top 3. There's actually 8. This is very powerful. Christine Campsey, after 1 month, had paid for her entire website 3 times over. The average cost for a website is between $5,000 to $7,000, so do the maths. That 3-step process I told you is just the icing on the cake. It works every single time that people implement this properly. Week number 4, using Facebook to drive hordes of customers to your business or your idea. So if you want to just use Facebook as your primary kind of marketing tool, then this is for you. That page that you saw, that conversion page, took us 4 minutes to build. We have software that you can just drop stuff into. It's very, very powerful. The essential secrets to making cash from Facebook, and build your very own Facebook cash creation strategy step by step. This is Kathy, who lives in rural Victoria, was used just this one piece, added 220 new customers to our database in 2 weeks, and immediately had 10 new customers into her bricks and mortar business. We go on to week 5, which is about increasing your revenue by 85%, my business owner friends, and my budding entrepreneurs. Restructuring for unlimited growth. This is about creating unlimited amounts of cash without flogging your guts out. Does that sound cool? Who would like a bit of that action? Top banana. Okay. So this is Dr. Tiva, And he is seeing, or was seeing, 70 patients a day. So we restructured what he was doing, and he's focused on a niche, and we love his business. Guess what it is? He helps teenagers with obesity, and he helps them lose weight. But he doesn't just work with the teenagers, he works with the families. He's a really cool guy. And Dr. Tiva's a top man. Is he doing all of the work himself? Say no, Al. Great. Okay, he's not. He's got a dietitian he's locked up with, and he's also a joint venture partner and also a fitness expert. Week number 6, the exact secrets to how Luke created 12 million business. So it's all about joint ventures. And if you want to skip forward and do this, that's fine. But you must have a clear marketing message before you do. So week number 6, the outcome for that is we're going to show you how to identify a good joint venture partner, how to approach a joint venture partner, how to win that joint venture partner, and keep that joint venture partner. So that you literally double your business. Sound cool? Say, yes, Al. Top banana, okay. So this is the update. Baden did one joint venture as of, where are we now? It's Monday, isn't it? Thursday of last week, talking to Luke, one joint venture that will give him an extra $30,000 in sales every single month. Every single month. Week 7, the Super Stealth bonus, is all about putting your business on autopilot. You need to know these skills from day one, because when your business explodes, you better have this in place. Otherwise, you will kill yourself. So it's about mega leveraging, creating large growth, large profits, but reducing your risk. It's a step-by-step process. We'll show you how to structure your business or new idea so that you're working less hours and making more cash. All right? This is exactly what Branson and Trump, and Jamie and all of these guys do. They are not working 24 hours a day. You with me? Okay. This is Greg, the graphic designer. What he did is he wanted to create a website to make some money so his wife, who's got 2 young children, could leave work. That was the first website. We said, Greg, that's terrible. This is the second website, with those 3 steps that I talked about, plus some other bits and pieces. That website made $5,000 in his first month. And so long as he just maintains that, that's $60,000 a year, that is more than enough for his wife to stop working. Would that be pretty cool? Yeah. So this is what we do, okay? So these are some of the entrepreneurs we work with. Al Sylvester, business coach, hit his first 5,000 target in week 5. Greg, who's a graphic designer, he's a real person too, hit his 5,000 target. John Francis hit his 7,750 target in week 6. And Sophie Daly from Bam Bam Basics, who didn't even have a business, was making sales in week 1. Are we excited? Are we so excited our bums are going to fall off? Yes? All right, I'm going to throw in a couple of bonuses. Who likes a couple of really nice bonuses? All right, cool. Everybody's like, yeah. Okay, here's the deal. The Explosive Internet Cash Creation Formula, 2 years of my life. It's a standalone product. If you want to know how to build a website yourself in about 4 hours, it's in there. If you want to know how to make $200 a week next week, there are 6 strategies to do that. There are 57 different different tools to help you make more money online, and so on and so forth. The value of that is $1,997. Now, who would like a really cool bonus? Who's like, I'm really excited now, my pants have really fallen down? Yeah? Here's the other thing. Because we can't take everyone, there is another piece that's very important, a critical piece. Luke and I are going to do one-on-ones. For those who accept this invitation to work with us, Luke and I are going to do one-on-ones for the first 15 people who register today. Now, that one-on-one is an hour long, where Luke and I have 2 very specific things we do. If you've got a new idea, we go through a specific step-by-step process to show you how to turn it into cash fast, just based off that 1 hour. Is that cool? If you're an established business owner, Luke is particularly strong at this. He'll understand very quickly where the weakness is and target where the cash is and move you to that target. We all happy with that? Cool bananas. I want to personally, thank you for your time this morning. Yeah? The reason why Luke and I are so passionate about what we do is because we know that a lot of you are sitting there going, I can't do this, I'm not good enough. 5 years ago, my business was on its arse and I was at the lowest point of my life. And if I can do it, anyone can. And each and every one of you have the skills, the talents, and the abilities to create your financial dreams.